You're a top returning rusher for this team off of last year's squad. What expectations do you put on yourself to not only meet what you did last year, but hopefully surpass it?
I just want to be a good leader. Kanan was a great leader last year for all of us. I think he's really what helped us just have a good season overall. So just kind of trying to follow like in the footsteps of just like the other leaders we had before. Obviously, I have like my own personal goals that just you always want to be better from the year before, but just progressing and being better as a player and just as a leader.
You obviously are here to catch passes, run the ball, but you guys did plenty of blocking out there today. What's the key to making sure that you are the pass protector when you need to be, or blocking to make sure that you get other guys the ball when they need it in that offense?
It's just about effort, just doing it. Like you gotta want it. You gotta want to make that play. You gotta not want to get beat. So it's really just about effort and wanting, and just having the will to do it.
Everybody's talked about the comfort level that they have with each other because there's so many guys who have been here for so long. What's your comfort level when you've got a returning quarterback who's an all-conference player like BG?
It feels great. I guess it's me and this is me and BG's third year together. So there's already been some chemistry there before. Just with the team handoffs. I mean, we get swing passes all the time. So I feel very comfortable in the offense. We're kind of doing some things different this year, which I think is helping us a lot. But I feel very good.
I know this team has talked a lot about not getting complacent just because of last year's success. How do you guys as a group not do that?
Just strive to be better every day. We know that we didn't reach. We had a good season last year, but we didn't really reach any goals. We didn't win conference. We didn't make the playoffs. All we did was win a bowl game, and I think we're pretty tired of bowl games at this point. So I think just that motivation of taking that next step, being the team who wins all the games instead of being just a good team.
This is an offense that moves really quickly. You guys have a quarterback that's a dual threat. How much fun is it getting to, design all these plays?
It's a lot of fun. I think this year they may give us a little freedom this year too, just with different things we're doing. So, but it's a lot of fun, especially if you know the offense. This is my fifth year here, so just knowing the offense helps a lot. Just being able to kind of just have the freedom to kind of do different things. But yeah, playing fast I think helps us a lot. Obviously we're tired, but if we're tired, the defense is probably more tired than us. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, your fifth year here is a really veteran group. What do you think makes people want to come back to Emporia State?
It's the family. You hear it all the time, family over everything. I think we really care about each other. We really love each other, and I think we just always all want to go to work with each other. So that's really it.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Coach said that he expected that the intensity is going to be a little bit different once you add the shoulder pads to the equation. How different has it felt for you these first 2 days?
Just faster. Just faster. You got the pads on, so you can be more physical in that aspect. You can hit all the holes you need to hit with full speed, not worry about throttling down, things like that. It's like we're trying to play smart as well, but yeah, it gives a faster. We can really run our offense how we run on it.
Billy just answered one of her questions and said that one thing that he's felt this year is that he really knows the offense, and you guys have so much veteran experience back. Do you guys? How much faster do you feel like you guys are picking up the offense as a running back unit, and then just as an entire offense, just because of all that experience back from last year's team?
Really fast. I feel like we're moving really good for day 4. We're picking up really fast. It's me last year. I played as a true freshman, so it's really easy for me now. And as a unit, I feel like we're doing really good. We're getting it going. We get into where we need to get to, and the offense is moving pretty well. So yeah, I would say pretty fast.
I haven't been in this program a whole lot, but I do know from talking to people there are not a ton of true freshmen that get on the field. What kind of expectations does that set for yourself this year, knowing that you were a guy who got snaps next year and can hopefully have a great 4-year career here?
Yes, sir. Just taking that big jump. Coaches preached to me in spring and in winter. Getting your body right. The summer would be big, and making that big jump. So just knowing I'm not a true freshman anymore, and I got to make that big jump and got to play with the big boys.
When you have so much veteran leadership on this offense, how beneficial is that? And you're still a relatively younger player.
It's really beneficial. Like I said, I had Billy last year, we had Kanan last year, so they really helped me. Especially for me being a true freshman last year, they really helped me a lot. And just taking stuff from their game and putting it into mine and really helping me develop, and seeing what things to hit, what things not to hit. So it's a big part of my game right now.
How fun is it getting to be on such a fast offense?
It's great. It's great. I love playing fast. That's my thing, speed. So it's great. I love playing fast.
Speaking of speed, how does being a track athlete, football, dual sport athlete?
It's great. I love it. I love my track team. I love my track coaches. I love my football coaches. It's a great balance. I feel that they helped me find, and I love it. I love it here.
What do you have to do to balance between that? Because you don't get it in the spring as much with track as you would maybe if you were just a track athlete. You got to do some things to get into spring football. So how does that work?
Just trying to find that, really communication. Just telling my coaches, if I'm not feeling this today, can I maybe take some, slighter reps because I got this on track or I got a track meet, things like that. Just finding that in between balance of what reps to not take and what reps to take.
I mean, there's always stuff that's going on all year long because, football is not a 3-month sport anymore. It hasn't been for a number of years.
Yes, sir.
But at the same time, everybody's got to have an off season at some point. Where do you find your off season, and what do you try to do in your off season to try to make sure that you're 100% for football, and then obviously you want to be 100% this spring for track?
Yes, I just try to, those little windows, we have like little winter break, Christmas breaks, or I try to take that time right there to get my body right as much as possible, especially when we playing, like you said, both sports. So I try to take that time, get recovery, stretch a lot, get ice, things like that to keep my body 100% for both sports because I know both sports need me. So, yes, sir.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yes, sir.
One of the seniors on this team. It's a big senior class. What's your responsibility to this unit individually, and what's your responsibility as a class to this team collectively as seniors?
Well, it's only about 8 of us that have the 6-year senior with COVID right now, and I just think being here for so long, I think all of us guys, it's a real important responsibility for us to lead by example, show these guys how to practice, keep up the energy, keep up the positive vibes in practice basically the whole time so that everything goes smoothly.
Obviously, when you came here on your journey, you probably were not anticipating it being a 6-year journey here at Emporia State. What kind of camaraderie have you built with those guys as you guys have had to weather some, you've got some unbelievable success, some great seasons, and obviously some turbulence that nobody could have anticipated?
Well, there's something one of the coaches said a couple of days ago. He's like, you don't really remember the bad years, you remember the good years. And I can remember every single good time I've had with all these guys. I mean, you remember every single guy, every single older guy, younger guy. You're friends with everyone. There's no cliques. There's nothing like that on the team. It's just you got the best friends that you're ever going to have for your life. And I'm just glad that I get to take another year to partake in that. So.
Coach Higgins said after practice, you guys put on the shoulder pads for the first time these couple of days, and it's a little bit warmer than it has been. And he said, mental toughness is going to be a thing that makes a difference for you guys in games this season, especially after being so close in games last season. What does mental toughness mean to you, and how do you show that leadership to the other guys in the running back room about mental toughness?
Mental toughness, I think, is just 100% of your effort all the time. I mean, it's not complaining. It's accepting the outcome. It's accepting it's hot out. It's humid. It's accepting that. And it's not really caring about it. It's just going forward with your responsibilities. It's just pushing the other stuff to the side and just moving forward.
Coach has said there's been maybe 3 guys that have left the program since the transfer portal started. What is it about this team that makes guys want to come back for so many years?
We got a lot of personalities, that's for sure. A lot of good guys on the team. I think just it's a welcoming attitude from everyone on the team, and it's pretty easy to buy in when you're just a new guy coming in, transfer. It's just everyone loves everyone here. So.
For the running backs, how fun is it when you have a quarterback like Braden that can also use his legs?
It's fun. BG can run. I wish, Higgins sometimes, I might get in trouble for saying this, but I've already started. But, he loves BG. He don't want him to get hurt. But BG, he wants to run. He wants to scramble. So, but I know he'll do that this year safely, and he'll slide. He'll get down. But it's real helpful.
What are your goals for this year, final year?
My goals, it's just, I love being a role guy, It's just if I'm on special teams, if they need me to carry the rock a little bit, I'll do what they ask of me. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to go in there for the team. I think there's a lot of guys on this team that do that, and I'm proud to be one of them. So
it's a unique position. Not everybody has their own version. What makes this a unique position at Emporia State, being the stinger back?
Well, first of all, it's an incredible position to play. I think it's probably one of the most versatile positions on the field. One set we're in the backfield pulling for a linebacker. Next set we're running a route up the seam, and then maybe going out and blocking a cornerback. So that's why I enjoy it so much, just the versatility of the position.
Did you play something similar to this in high school, and what has that adjustment been like now that you're kind of the number 1 guy at this position here for this season?
I actually ended up playing defensive end most of my high school career. I played tight end a little bit my senior year, and kind of bounce back and forth between the two positions, between recruiting. And like I said, it's so much fun to play in this offense with the way we spread the ball out, throw it around, especially having a guy like Braden Gleason in the backfield throwing it to you. He can sling it a little bit, so it's pretty fun playing with him.
Is there somebody that you try to model your game after, and who would that be?
One of my huge role models from Emporia State is Dalton Cowan. He was an awesome leader here at Emporia State. That's why I remember him most. Super vocal guy, and then once he hit the field, it's like a flip switched. He was a really, really good player for us. So I'm trying to model my game after him. He's one of my better friends, and that's one of the things I cherish here about Emporia State is continuing those relationships further on down the line, just past football as well.
I was going to ask you about Dalton. You know, he went from quarterback to S-back. How much have you learned from him, you know, when he had to take a step away from the game and you had to fill those shoes?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise for me. But like I said, he's a great leader, and that's kind of the role I need to step into now. We got a room full of fresh faces, new guys. So just taking on that leadership role, being a better communicator with the guys, helping them out on certain plays, things they need to know. So.
4 days in, there's obviously a lot of camp left, but what do you like? What have been the things that you have liked the most from the running backs and the stinger backs that you've seen here in this first half week of practice?
Most important thing we're seeing is effort and attention to detail. Guys are paying attention, taking notes in meetings, transitioning that to the practice field, doing what we're asking them to do and doing it with great effort, you know, sprinting on and off the field, doing all the little things.
Not every offense has a stinger back or an H-back type of position. What does having a position like that, and then also a player that can excel in that role, allow this offense to do that maybe it would not otherwise be able to do?
Just everything, honestly, going from 11 personnel formations to 10 personnel formations, not having to sub. Obviously, everyone knows we're up tempo, so we could just change formation, able to run routes both sides, not just in the core, and then run game, you know, able to add in the run game, whether it be counter inside zone, just giving different looks and just adding to it.
One thing that Coach Higgins mentioned about after practice today, a little bit hotter, guys maybe not used to wearing the pads yet, and there was a little bit of adversity on the offense. How do you as a leader give your guys the tools to deal with that adversity? Because you know from last season you had a couple of close wins, a couple of close losses. There's gonna be something bad that happens in the game. How do you get those guys ready in training camp to approach and handle that moment when it comes?
I think a lot of that comes from what we did over the summer as well. Just preparing and weights and all that stuff over the summer to get the bodies right. And then you get out here, you just put them in tough situations. You know, we like to make our practices harder, faster, more tempo than what we'll see in a game. So that way by Saturdays it should be easy to them. So that's a big thing that we do.
How much fun does it make it for your group when you have a quarterback that can also use his legs? How does that kind of shake things up for the running backs?
For us, it's you know, a lot of fun because they know, like on check down sometimes you may not see it where your quarterback starts scrambling, keeps plays alive, and we talk about that in meeting scramble drill, and we can make a play that could have been a 5-yard just sit route into a 20-yard gain just because we're able to keep the play alive and have a, you know, just play ball.
How beneficial is it that you have two running backs that are such veterans on this squad?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, Billy and Kingsley and Jack, I mean, I'll add Jack in there too, just been here so long, but they're able to coach guys while we're out there at practice. They're able to do a great job of just, you know, communicating what we need as a staff to the other guys, and then knowing I can trust them when it's, you know, third and short, whatever comes Saturdays, I know they're going to do the right things. So.
I mean, hey, speaking of that, you almost needed that out there. You were getting out, spotting the ball there at the end of practice, a little get up and go still for you.
Well, it's we read a book, Legacy. Our captains and our IHOs read a book we call Legacy about the All Blacks rugby team from New Zealand, and they talk about sweeping the sheds. That nobody's too good to sweep the sheds. So I look at it as I'm the head coach. If I got to help ball spot or if I got to help set up a drill, I'm going to do it. But while I do, usually when I'm setting it up, I do like to let the guys know that, you know, I always like to make the comment that Steve Spurrier's never done this, but Coach Higgins is. Anyway.
Well, you mentioned after practice today that concentration is going to be a big part of why you guys are able to be successful this year. It's not always going to be good, but what do you hope that your guys take away from that message?
Well, I hope they listen. Number one, I think that what they got to understand, and when I talk about that, it's it's playing with the type of tempo that we play offensively. And same thing defensively. You know, we got to get lined up quick, and we got to get in a good stance. You know, offensively, we got to process the play. And when you get, you know, whether you have a bad play, sometimes that can get you to lose focus. You know, you got to have a short memory, and you got to get that out of your head so you can move on. And that's the thing, the message that we're trying to get to our guys right now. We're only on our 4th day, but I thought we were a little bit sloppy offensively today. And you're going to have those days, I know that, but it's our job as coaches to make sure that everything we're doing is we're trying for perfection. Are we ever going to reach it? No. But if to me, coaching's about, you know, we got to bring the energy each and every day too. That's another reason why you saw me out there spotting the ball. I wanted to send that message out, and I got to push myself. It's just like practice back when I played. Sometimes you got to mentally push through those things.
And you mentioned, you know, mentally moving on from a bad play, and you mentioned at the end of practice, there's so many good teams in this league. You're going to have a bad play because the competition in the MIAA is just too good. It's easy to say to move on, but how do these guys take that message and be able to move on when the adversity happens?
To me, it's repetition, all right, is how I look at that. The more that you do it, the more that it's preached to them, then I think to me, it helps them, you know, and then they got to have self-discipline to make themselves, you know, understand those things that we want out of them.
And you've mentioned several times that you've had so much comfortability because of the veterans that you have back. You've got a running back room with a couple of long-time guys that have been with your program, and then a guy who played as a true freshman, which doesn't happen a whole lot at Emporia. So what have you seen from those guys in terms of their experience level coming back in and what they've shown in this first half week of practice?
Well, each one of them has a different story to tell, but I've seen consistency out of them. I really feel like Billy Ross, who really came on, busted on the scene last year. He came in as our second team tailback and ended up being an all-conference running back for us. And one of the things we talked to Billy about in the spring and going into this fall was just being an everyday guy and being a guy that comes to work the way that you need to. And I see that in him right now. I think Kingsley is building upon what he did last year. I really see that. I see him being more comfortable in the offense. And then I look at a guy like Jack Petz, who's on his 6th year, I believe, who's been here forever, that will do anything that's asked of him. He's a glue guy, and you got to have those guys, and we have a lot of those guys in our program. And whatever role he's going to have on this team, because he will have one, I know that Jack's going to try to be an All-American in that role.
How much confidence does it give you for the future of the running back position in your program, knowing you have a guy like Kingsley so young?
Yeah, I think two things with that. I think it's awesome when we have a young guy play so early like Kingsley did, and I also think that having somebody like Billy, who is, I think, doing a great job of leading those guys. And I've said this before, that in our program, one of the things we try to do is really get, and if you watch a practice, and one thing I would tell you to watch is watch our older guys throughout the practice and watch how they talk to the younger guys and try to tell them things that are going to make them better, you know. So that's what gives me confidence in our younger guys, because I feel like we got talent. We got a deep running back room. We probably have the deepest running back room that we've had here maybe ever as far as the numbers go. So that's the thing that really excites me about that young group, is I think they're getting led by guys that understand how things need to be done.
And then a little off topic, I know this is the first time the program has had all female trainers on the sidelines. Give your thoughts on that.
I love it. They're doing a great job, and you know, we definitely treat them with respect. And that's one of our messages we tell our team in the first team meeting, is whether it's a student manager, whether it's a trainer, whether it's our filmers, you know, those people are the team behind the team, I like to say. And I think our trainers do a great job. I love them to death. They come in. Right now, our lead trainer is gone. She's in Italy. And then our backup trainer, all right, you know, everybody's one play away, right? Just like the backup trainer, one play away. Our starter goes. So Savannah's in. She's the backup, and she's doing a great job. Comes in 7:30 every morning. All the coaches in there. She comes in there and rattles it off. You know, rattles it off. Just, you know, who's hurt, who can do what, and we just sit there and listen. You know, that's what we're supposed to do. So they do a great job, and I hope they feel like they're a vital part to this football program, and they're a vital part to our success because they are.
Perfect.
I'm good.
All right.
Thanks.
Yep, you bet.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you
Coach.
guys.
We'll see ya.
Yep, we'll see you.